methods and instruments of the plan allow every soul to contribute a share of what humanity needs in this day. Far from offering a temporary salve for the ills of the moment, the prosecution of the plan is the means by which long-term constructive processes unfolding over generations are being set in motion in every society. All of this points to an urgent, inescapable conclusion. There must be a sustained, rapid rise in the number of those committing their time, their energy, their concentration to the success of this work. Paragraph 4 of the Risbon 2024 message from the Universal House of Justice. Devoted Baha'is have been working tirelessly with thousands of others throughout the world to actualize the society-building potential of the faith. This initiative has the power to transform feelings of hopelessness, isolation, and discrimination into feelings of hope, camaraderie, and love. These efforts, which often start with simple acts of kindness, like sharing a prayer, go beyond inspiring conversations and lead to meaningful action. In 180 BE, South Africa indeed moved closer towards its destiny by making concrete efforts to release the society-building power of the faith. These efforts are being carried forward by thousands of believers and their friends across the country, young and old, women and men, binding all races with the hopes of establishing unity, a much-cherished goal of our community. In diverse settings across the country, many are learning to translate Baha'u'llah's teachings into reality alongside other souls found along the way who seek justice and peace. In doing so, the Friends are drawing on the power of the Training Institute, essentially creating intimate spaces where conversations inspired by the Word of God can take place. These conversations are fostering genuine friendships as people work together to live a life of worship and service. A special mention can be made regarding the growing numbers of youth who are being nurtured to develop capabilities required to be lifelong protagonists. Gatherings to embrace young souls into the circle of friends where they can steel themselves for service to their communities have increased. In short, scores upon scores of youth in South Africa are being prepared to assume greater responsibility for our community's future. All these significant movements and other endeavors the Friends are contributing to, with the backing of the institutions that are progressively developing to enable such progress, are indicative of the community's increasing spiritual well-being. The National Assembly and its agencies have taken steps to continuously improve on their functioning to fulfill their role in the plan. We've seen the Baha'i Office of Public Affairs actively participating in a variety of national dialogues and initiatives. The Institute for Studies in Global Prosperity introducing its postgraduate program, and our national archives preserving our legacy through digitization, all of which speak to the deep spiritual and intellectual maturity of our community. This is reflected in the deployment of 22 Homefront pioneers, the proactive work of the regional Baha'i councils, and the inspiring Arise to Serve conferences that have taken place across the country. Local assemblies have deepened their understanding of spiritual principles, enhancing their administrative functions, and engaging in dialogue on the community's spiritual health. They have been reflecting on the spiritual and administrative principles and processes that underpin their work, including the role of local assemblies in unlocking the potential for growth. We can see this potential being unlocked by appreciating the growth of several clusters in our community. These clusters have seen their respective activities grow, with Johannesburg surpassing 200 core activities, and Cape Town not only sustaining their 100 activities, but continuing to strengthen their capacities. Mokopane and Buffalo City have also made noteworthy advances, increasing their activities by more than 50. A significant factor contributing to the progress of these clusters has been the devotional activities held in homes. This act of gathering friends for prayer has been effective since the beginning of the 9-year plan, as evinced by the 140+ increase in devotional gatherings since the plan's inception. This is a clear strength of South Africa and has supported the efforts of all believers, individuals and families to unlock the potential for growth and release the society-building power of the faith in South Africa. This power is being released in settings all over the country. Friends are reaching out to their neighbors and reimagining how we can relate to those who live around us. Others are connecting with like-minded people in their workplaces, schools, and universities, natural settings for discussions about the advancement of humanity. And a few are working in specific areas of the country with the goal of engaging a larger number of people in an intensive way to gain insight into community building at an accelerated pace. These are not simply accounts of individual success, but rather the story of a collective rising together to achieve a vision of unity and progress. We would like to share some of the experiences of our friends in the country.
Buffalo City. At the start of the plan, the cluster had 6 co-activities. As it stands, the cluster now has 90 co-activities. A large proportion of the activities in the cluster are in the township of Mdantsane across 2 neighborhoods. We asked one of the youth in Mdantsane a few questions, and this is what she had to share.
It started about 3.5 years ago when we started our junior youth classes, our children classes. We were the children that were participating in the activities, and it has really grown into junior youth, and now we're a youth. I am doing a junior youth class, devotions, and also we have devotions in our area. I think my life has changed a lot while I have become part of the Baha'i activities. It has changed my perspective on things, and it has shown me how much better the world and our communities can be if we work together to make it more vibrant and bring in more spiritual elements to what we are doing. But just like in Book 1, we were taught that you're always supposed to be, everything you're supposed to do it in a state of prayer, right? Everything you do, you're doing it in a state of prayer. So that quote was very important to me because it showed me how important it is to bring a spiritual element into our lives. As a lot of people know me, I like to talk and I like to express myself. I like to express myself with my words, and I think meeting the Baha'i faith and learning more about religions and stuff, which was a very interesting topic for me. It helped me have a better view and perspective of how life can be in our communities and how vibrant our communities could be.
eThekwini cluster. In the past year, there has been efforts from friends across this cluster in bringing the revelation of Baha'u'llah to cohorts of individuals. We now take a look at one of the focus neighborhoods of the cluster, which is in the township of Guamas, where a nucleus of friends is engaging the community in uplifting conversations around education, the spiritual and material development of the 3 protagonists, and the role of families and youth in bringing about this progress.
The other challenge that we had is balance our schoolwork and e-service. At first, it was a challenge because last year, in 2023, besinga esikolweni, and then now siya esikolweni and yenza a full-time service. So it wasn't easy at first, but by making a timetable and a schedule as a team, it helped. We study, we go to the field. It's time for e-service. And also by encouraging each other each day, it also helps.
ayabafundisa abantwana bethu, ayabaqondisa nje. Iy'ngane zethu ziyaqoqeka. Ingathi nje uNkulunkulu angasisiza alokhu beqhubeke njalo labantwana emphakathini babe yisibonelo esihle ekukhuliseni kahle ingane nanokuyifundisa, ngoba kuhlukile ingane yasemgaqweni nesondelela kumaBaha'i. AmaBaha'i ayifundisa into e-right and nenhlonipho futhi iba khona. Bese ngithanda bona-ke labantu babo bamaBaha'i abafundisa iy'ngane banothando, abakhethi. Bathanda umuntu omdala, bathanda umuntu omncane, omakhelwane, and umphathi walaphi wajabula kakhulu nje. Bakhulunywa ngokuqoqa kwey'ngane, wanje ukuyifundisa ama-homework kuyinto enkulu kabi lokho. Ngoba thina kwesinye isikhathi nabazali sesinga-understandi la ukuthi fanele imfundo yamanje sesinga-understandi ukuthi fanele siyisize kanjani iy'ngane. Siyambonga nje uNkulunkulu ngani Baha'i ukuthi nisinakekele abantwana, bayawenza ama-homework, nasesikoleni imqondo yabo iqaqekile. Ngiyabonga. Nomthandazo-ke lo enisibethela wona nangama-weekend, siyabonga kakhulu. Ikhuleko nje iyinto enkulu, niyasiqhuquzelela nathi ukuthi sixhumane noNkulunkulu. Siyabonga, ngathi ngingangayeka njalo nje ngama-weekend. Siyabonga lo mkhuleko enisibethela wona. Qhubeke ngane zami, siyabonga.
Johannesburg cluster, one of South Africa's most populated cities, with already many believers residing and working within it. This setting is where the generality of believers are learning to find creative ways to work within one's existing networks, through their places of work, study, or some other community hub connection. One such believer describes her experience.
Well, the monthly devotional gatherings that we hold here has been very successful in the terms of attracting the friends, not just from the complex, but the friends that we knew before. So there is a beautiful flyer that goes out every month, and we choose a topic and we use quotations from all different religions for that topic that people share, and then we have music in between. It's a very nice, relaxed and non-threatening environment. So we have some regular participants in that interfaith devotional. Two families that are friends of the faith. One is a husband and wife and two adult children, and one is a mother with 3 adult daughters. They've been coming regularly and they've been enjoying it very much, and they have even offered to play music during the devotionals. So one day we just thought about offering to them that we can do a study on the life of the Spirit. So basically we introduced the book 1 and they all showed interest. So that is how it got started. My initial fear was a fear of rejection. When it was during a devotional, interfaith devotional, we just had dinner, we had played some games, because our interfaith devotional gatherings are also a place for fellowship. So we include food and games, the children are all invited and so on. So they were playing outside, some were eating, and the thought occurred that why don't we invite them for a Ruhi book 1? And my biggest fear was they say, rubbish, what are you talking about? That was my greatest fear. Then I thought, the worst that can happen, they can say no. And I said a prayer in my heart, gathered enough courage, and I told them, the minute I told them, they were all interested. Yeah, it was amazing. Old and young, all of them.
As we reflect on our accomplishments, we are not simply tallying up our progress. We are celebrating the love and gratitude that inspires our collective journey. In every home where we gather for devotions, in every conversation that arises from a shared yearning for justice, and in every effort to nurture young people's potential, we are planting seeds that will yield a harvest of prosperity and peace. Our collective endeavors, supported by the evolving administrative structures, are not simply activities. They are affirmations of our faith in action. Now, as we enter the third year of the 9-year plan, we carry forward the momentum of the past years with renewed vigor and vision, ready to embrace the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. We do so with the love of an all-embracing heart. It is this love that binds us, drives us, and assures us that indeed South Africa is moving.
Bahá'í